welcome. This is a guided practice for returning to the wisdom of your breath as part of allowing natural healing to take place and for you to contact those repressed and disowned parts of yourself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to become aware. Just arrive in that awareness in whatever shape you inhabit, the shape of your body. There is nothing to force and nothing to change, nothing broken and nothing wrong. And within you, a breath is already happening, as it always is, moment to moment. It may be tight, it may be shallow, it may be hesitant or lost. It may come in fits or barely at all. It may feel like it's hiding from you, but it's there. It's always there. And now we are going to meet the breath in the way that it wishes to be. We're not going to force it. We're not going to instruct it. We are going to be a witness to its natural intelligence. But first, we must understand that breath is not something you do. Breath is something that does you, something that carries you through time, even when you forgot to follow it, something that moves energy around your body. So, we're going to follow its journey. Let your awareness first become very wide. Don't focus on the breath just yet, but focus on the container, on your body. And then invite your awareness to settle on what is calling your attention. Ask the self, ask the body to express its energy in whatever way it wishes to do so. And ask the ego to stand aside. We don't need it here. And as you find the sensation arise in the body, the symptom, the energy, whether it's in your head, your chest, your torso, just allow that. And recognize it as a part of you that is trying to come back into consciousness. And to allow this to happen, to integrate, we need to invite it by being present with our breath. Not to try and force it or get rid of it, but to invite it through. So now make a space around the object that is calling your attention, and then let your breath breathe, however small and shallow, just to the point where it touches the energy of your sensation or the emotion. It means it might be the tiniest little breath, like a mouse, high up in your chest or your throat, just to the point of threshold where you meet the object that's within your container. Now keep breathing exactly as the breath decides and observe it. Observe its brilliance because it knows what it's doing. It might be tiny and shallow. It might be staccato. Just watch it as if you were watching a creature that knows exactly what it's doing and where it's going. Because your breath does. It's allowing, in a titrated way, repressed energies to be, which have been held in the nervous system, to move through, not to overwhelm, but in exactly the right amount. Your job is just to make space for this to happen and to support this process with non-interference. Just like a symphony, just like a change in tempo, watch this breath, shallow and fast. Might be slow and long, might be an inhale or an exhale. Let it do whatever it chooses for you in this moment. Keep breathing right up to the edge of your sensation. It might simply stay there, but what this is showing is that now it's safe to be in your body. It's safe to recognize something that was once considered too dangerous, too much, too overwhelming to be felt. So the ego, looking after you, placed it in the shadow and locked it into your body. And now this conscious willingness to be embodied, to allow that sensation to be felt, signals it's now safe. It's safe for you to welcome back this part wordlessly with your breath and the allowing that it signals. Keep bringing your awareness to the edge of the breath where it meets the sensation. Not the middle, not the part you wish would change, but the edge where the breath meets the resistance of the sensation, not to try and breathe through it or breathe it away or change it. This is very important. Let yourself feel the exact place where the breath doesn't want to go any further. Let it stop there. Let it just breathe as it wishes there, exactly as it wants to. Might be tiny and shallow. Might be several breaths in and then one out. Whatever it wants to do, even if it wants to refuse and hold itself, let it do that. Trust me, it knows what it's doing. And just stay as the observer. Let the breath breathe you. This is the gate. This is the gate where the system once decided it was not safe to feel something, and where the exile began. And now you're back, not to force or tear the gate open, not to rush in, but to just be here, lovingly, quietly, with the consent of the ego and your presence, breathing only to the point it will go and no further. We do not force. We wait to be invited. This is a sacred thing, to meet the limit, this threshold, this liminal space, not with fear or pressure, but with our presence, our trust and allowing. And this is something that your nervous system and the ego may never have known before. And your willingness to stay here now is changing everything. There is a reason that this place where you're meeting might feel tight or shallow. A reason your body resists a deeper breath and why you mustn't force it. A reason your diaphragm may be braced or locked, or your chest hollow and unfillable. There's nothing that's gone wrong. This is memory, not malfunction. somewhere between this breath, beneath it, is a charge, emotional, energetic, held somatically in your body. It's been waiting for years. Perhaps it is terror, perhaps rage, perhaps grief so vast that you couldn't have survived feeling it back then. So the body held it for you, instructed by an ego, protecting the younger parts of yourself. It paused for breath and it locked the gate. And we learnt, and the breath learnt, I mustn't go there, not yet. But now, you are different. You are here with awareness, with presence, with a field wide enough to hold it and allow it. And this changes everything. So stay with this edge again. Keep breathing up to it, not beyond it. No forcing. Stay with the breath as it meets its own boundary and just feel into what arises there. Whatever. It might be tension, it might be resistance, it might be a tremor, a flicker of fear, a twitch, a pulse. It's just something coming back. You don't need to understand it. You are not doing the breath. The breath is doing you, and the breath is trying to tell you something. It may not speak in words. It may speak in temperature or in pressure or in a strange fluctuating pattern. You are safe enough now to begin movement, is what its message is. You don't have to do it all at once. Goodness no. You don't have to feel it all at once. The nervous system won't allow that anyway. Just this moment, this breath, what it's decided to breathe up to. Just let this flicker of old life start to be invited to return to the system. If you let the breath rise and fall, just naturally, however tiny it might be, only as far as it wants to go, this is the work. No effort, no technique, just a sacred kind of listening. The effort, the technique is to simply allow it to breathe itself. And sometimes, if you allow it, over time, as you repeat this, something strange will happen. Something you didn't have to force. The diaphragm will drop. The lungs will start to fill themselves and the body will move, cry, tremble. And in that moment, you will not have breathed, you will have been breathed. This is titration. This is completing. This is integrating part of you back into the whole. This is healing. And this is self-led re-entry. Whatever the breath decides to do, and for many it will be simply nothing at this point, but just to breathe up into that point. This is important. It takes time to signal the safety to allow this release. But these spontaneous moments of breath, whatever's there, allow it. There may be full body yawns. sighs that feel like ancient energy rising and completing. They're not random. They are, bit by bit, completions of unfinished emotional arcs. The body always remembers and holds what the mind could not. And when you give it space, it finishes what was once interrupted, paused. And this is why we never rush. We never force breath work onto a system that is still protecting itself. If you force it, you may blow open a valve, but the charge will scatter and eventually settle right back into the tissues once more. But if you allow the breath to lead in this way, the charge will complete and dissolve, not into the mind, but through the field of the self, back into the system. The ego can never manage this. The part can never manage this. The part will always want to help, but the whole, the self, knows how to manage it. And now the self is here because you stayed. Because the ego allowed it. You didn't push. You waited patiently at the gate, at the threshold, and the breath came to find you. And the gate opened, and something old was allowed to move through. Sometimes this work leads to a spontaneous release, twitching, shaking, tears with no memory, a sudden emotion without a story, a strange heat rising through the spine or chills, or a moment of breathlessness, followed by peace. If this happens, let it. Let the body guide. But this might not happen automatically. It takes time. You don't need to understand what's happening. Your body is not asking for meaning. It's just asking for you to let it do its job. It's asking for witnessing and non-interference, to be seen, to be felt, and to be allowed. No more exile. You may notice in time, either now or when you do this exercise repeatedly, that your breath often will start to drop into the belly, not on command, not automatically, but naturally when the time is ready, when the trust has been built. Naturally. Because safety, not effort, is the condition for the breath to deepen. We cannot force it to deepen. It will happen like a gift, naturally given. And as we do this, we become safe. Not because danger is gone, but because we are here, safety is signalled. We are here with the breath and the sensation it meets, not ahead of it, not forcing it, not trying to change it, but just up to its edge. Every time you breathe in to meet the sensation that is a part of you coming back, the sensation that is an emotion you exiled, an instinct you denied. At the edge, every time you do this without judgment, without agenda, you are repatterning your system. Not through cognitive override, not through spiritual bypass, not through force, but through presence. You are teaching the body by being within it. This space is safe now. And you're teaching the shadow, you can come home. And you're teaching the ego, this is us. And for the diaphragm, you are now free. And so, even if nothing big happens right now, even if no deep breaths arrive, even if the breath remains strange and tiny and small, know that you have done something profound, and I really mean this. You have said yes to being in your body. You have said yes to the re-entry of the breath, making space for that which has been repressed. You have made room for the return of the life force that has been denied and exiled for so long. And you have let the self breathe you. And in time, everything will change. So now, as this practice comes to a close, remember, you don't have to fix the breath. You don't have to make it behave. You only have to become the field of awareness within which it can be itself. And that is enough. It knows exactly what to do. The self, the breath, remembers what was lost. The breath remembers who you were, and the breath reads what can be met with presence. And that presence, when we're ready, will bring you back. Not all at once, but eventually, yes. Bit by bit, softly, lovingly, in its own time, without overwhelming, without forcing. Let the breath breathe you. It knows the way home. Trust it.